Season 5 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by Holden Insurance Agency and the rest of our fabulous sponsors.
Good morning and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling. We have made it out here on the ice on Mille Lacs Lake here in Minnesota. So I would still consider this early ice of 2020. It's been a very, as you guys can probably remember, November, early December of 2020 was very, very warm. So we are finally on ice here on Mille Lacs. This was not fishable probably 5 days ago. So to kind of put everything into perspective, yes, there's a lot of really great structure behind us. I know it's dark, you obviously can't see, but there's a lot. I mean, all of Mille Lacs is behind us. Tons of great mud flats, rock piles, like tons of great structure. We don't know if we can get there or not. So we really don't know what this day is gonna bring. We are obviously out here early morning in the dark, so we are keeping safety and caution in mind. We just don't want to take our four-wheelers and drive out into the lake in the dark. Like, it's hairy out there. There's patches where where you have 5, 6, 7 inches of ice, and then a couple hundred yards later there's 2 inches. So big bodies of water do freeze inconsistently. So we are playing it safe. We are fishing some near shore structure. Safety is always number one out here, especially early ice. Far too many bad things can happen, especially coming out here in the dark. So we just didn't bomb out here on the four-wheelers. We knew that this was good ice out to this spot. So the plan for today is to fish shallow. This is a shallow spot, maybe 10 to 15 feet of water. We do have about 20 feet of water right behind us, not too far. So Mille Lacs Lake is known for, you can go out there and pluck walleyes off in 28, 30, 32 feet of water. We just can't get to that depth right now. So we're gonna stick it out in shallow. There is a very good shallow bite on Mille Lacs, but it can be difficult because the water's so clear. We don't have much snow on the ice. This is the kind of, put everything into perspective where we are, what we're doing. Walleyes is on the game plan. Stick with us, it should be a good one. Okay, so 12 feet of water. If we look on our Markham MX7 here, you can tell that there is a slight rise in the bottom. It's not much, 4 or 5 feet. Out in the basin of Mille Lacs, you have mud flats that, will rise 10, 15 feet. This is not that. This is subtle shoreline structure. So 12 feet of water right here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our Eskimo dry pack here, and well, we have, imagine that, I fish pros. Now, I'm not an expert on Mille Lacs. In fact, there's lots of times I struggle to catch fish out here. But what I do know is that this water is very clear. It's even more clear in the winter time. So once that sun comes out, these walleyes are gonna be very responsive to movement and sound up above, meaning we wanna set these iFish pros and step back and get away from them a little bit. Again, these iFish pros can be your #1 producing tactic to catch walleyes throughout the ice, especially early season. So we're really gonna rely on them. We have 3 guys with us today, Josh and Corey. We're gonna set out 4 of these, and 2 guys are gonna jig. So let's get these iFish pros down and hopefully see them popping once we get a little more daylight here.
There's a nice fish. Here we go. Boom. Fish on. Fish on. Early morning walleye here. Still dark out. This feels like a really, really good one too. Here we go. Good fish on. The sun has not even came above the trees yet.
That's a nice walleye, buddy. You can see it, yeah. You can see it behind us there.
Here we go.
That's a big walleye.
Man, is that fun.
We gotta get his head started.
Here we go. Wow. That's a good one to start the day.
That's a nice one, buddy. I love it. That is what it's all about. That's action, man. Early morning, he just crushed that windy flyer.
Yes, he did.
That's an aggressive walleye, and you are here off this break a little bit. You know, our iFish pros, as we said, are up in 11, 12, 13 feet. You're in about 15, 16 right here. So that's a nice chunky 22-inch walleye to start the day. Let's get her back down. All right, baby, iFish Pro Fish. We had sun this morning, clouds moved in, and our bite kind of died. Josh got that nice one, and that was it, because shortly after that, we had clouds, and I think those fish just needed a little bit to adjust. But the clouds have been here for a half hour, and hopefully these fish are gonna be turning back on here. There we go. That's a walleye. Stay buttoned, baby. Ooh, that feels heavy. Stay buttoned, big girl. Those are big head shakes. Starting to get nervous. Again, those clouds came, our fish just shut down at what I would consider was prime time. That's this walleyes, that's early season walleyes here. It's very receptive to changes in weather when they are this shallow and the water is this clear. Look at that, man. That's a chunky 20-inch Mille Lacs fish with that hook right down its throat. That's what you like to see. That was on a shiner minnow, so you know we've been running a mix of shiners and suckers, but that one was on a shiner, which is good to see. So not a bad walleye. Look at that fish, guys. I love it. Chunky Mille Lacs Lake walleye. I hope they're gonna start to turn on now that we have clouds. You never know though. These fish can do weird things at times, but let's get her back in the water. Boom, there it goes. That's a fish on the ice. He's there, he's running. This is a big sucker minnow. Got him. That's a fish. That's what we need, man. Come on, baby. Be hooked. Be hooked. It's almost like hunting, especially here on Mille Lacs with the clear water, not much snow on the ice. It's super quiet out right now. There's not much wind. We gotta get our head started. And that right there is what it's all about. That is a chunky, chunky Mille Lacs walleye. Hefty fish, maybe 20, I don't know, 23 inches. Fatty though, hey? Look at that, we barely got here. That's that hook right in the tip of her nose. But that there is a nice, gorgeous Mille Lacs walleye. That's why we're here. I love it. iFish pros, man, they're so productive. Let's get this girl back. I'm digging these clouds that we have right now. Yeah, I think it's only going to help prolong this bite. Although it is a little bit windy and making things a little bit more challenging. Fish, nice. They come in so fast. It's just like you're sitting there jigging and out of nowhere. You can see them down there. This water is so clear. Ooh, that's a nice walleye. Look at that fish down there. Look at that walleye. That there is Mille Lacs gold, baby, on that rattling flyer. Look at that walleye. So it's kind of cold out here. We're gonna get him him or her back pretty quick here. Thank you, darling. Look at that. I love it. That is success. That warms you up on a cold day out here, but we have clouds right now, and that's really prolonging this bite and making this bite, making these walleyes more active as we approach that 10 o'clock hour. So it's kind of not very customary for these walleyes to be in here in 16, 17, 18 feet of water right now with no snow on the ice at 10 a.m. but they are, because we have these clouds that I think is saving our butts right now. But again, bright lures. I can't, like that Lindy Flyer, man, that's a great lure. Just putting a minnow head on there, bright colors, clear water. These fish just, they see it from a ways away, they come in and just smack it. That's fun. I gotta warm up my hands. iFish Pro, baby. We need this one. Got him. Got him, yes. The madness continues. These clouds, man, they are our friend. If it was sunny right now, none of this would be happening. And yes, this is on an iFish Pro, still up and shallow. Oh, this is an adrenaline rush, man. You hear these things pop off, you get over here as quick as you can, and you hope that the fish is there. Come on, girl. There she is, that's a nice walleye. Come on, girl. That's what it's all about right there, man. Mille Lacs walleyes at 10 a.m. in 12 feet of water. That's something you don't hear all the time. And that, man, is what it's all about. She's got some, looks like she was caught in the past and some skin ripped off her cheek there, but again, another beautiful, I don't know, 21, 22 inch Mille Lacs walleye. Again, we're gonna get her back here. It's cold, so just try to keep these fish in the water as much as possible so their fins don't freeze. Down she goes. I always have a wide variety of treble hooks with me. I mean, there's sizes anywhere from 4 to 14 in this box here, so I can match the size of the hook to the size of the minnow that I'm using. I don't want to be, too big of a hook on too small of a minnow. That minnow is not going to swim naturally. Too small of a hook on too big of a minnow, you're not going to get hooks into the fish's mouth. So you really got to have a variety of hooks to match the size of the bait that you're using. So what I'm going to do here is put on a size 8 treble hook. So the higher the number, the smaller the hook's going to be. This is, I'm going to match this to a shiner minnow. So if I was using a smaller chub, I'd for sure have a size 10 on there. But for a shiner that's a little bit bigger, I like to have a little bit bigger of a hook. We have a hook right through the back there, and we're gonna put him in the water and watch it and make sure it swims good. Make sure it looks natural. And if it doesn't, you either need to rehook the minnow, or maybe your hook is too big or too small. This minnow, I'm looking at it now, that minnow's swimming really good down there. It looks lively. That hook is not an impediment to its swimming abilities, so it looks natural. A walleye's, going to be enticed to hopefully come and eat it here shortly. So we're just going to drop this down. Again, this is only 12 feet of water. We're keeping, some of these iFish Pros up here shallow because they are popping off. A lot of people think, 10, 11 a.m. on Mille Lacs, you got to go, 30, 35 feet. It's really working for us right now. There's steady, constant action. And, if it wasn't for these iFish Pros, we haven't caught a lot of fish on camera with them, but off camera, I mean, they're going every 20, 30 minutes. So it's steady, consistent daytime action, which is about all you can ask for out here.
One o'clock in the afternoon on Mille Lacs. This is about 12 feet of water here. So it feels like a really nice fish. That's a beautiful Mille Lacs walleye. 1 in the afternoon. Awesome.
Fish on. This is unreal right now. Corey just got done putting his on the ice, and one came in on me. It was a really good mark too. It feels big. Right there in the middle of the hole. Ooh, man, that's a good fish. Man, is that cool to see him through that clear ice like that. That's a gorgeous Mille Lacs walleye. Cannot believe they're biting this great at this time of day. I mean, that's an awesome little double. Corey just got his on the ice. I had one come in. It's gonna be a really fun evening, I think. We're gonna get this fish back in the water here. Just a gorgeous fish.
That's an iFish Pro. It's like 2 o'clock right now. The sun is out. This iFish Pro is in 12 feet of water. It's gin clear down there. And we just had a walleye hit. Got him. Nice. I feel like this is cheating right now because we should not be catching walleyes right now. Look at this. Look at that. Nice 18-incher. Just choked it. And that's kind of funny because I know for a fact we would not have seen a hookup like this with a sucker minnow. I mean, this hook is gone. I'm gonna have to grab some pliers quick here. Just right down his gullet. Easily able to unhook it though. That fish is not harmed at all. We had very good hooks into it. It was not getting off, and that is pretty much a midday walleye with the sun shining, 12 feet of water on Mille Lacs. Who knew? What a fish. Go on, girl. Nice. I love it. And I just love it when a plan pays off too. You know, I always think like peak times, you know, that 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the evening, you can get away with a lot of slack that you wouldn't be able to get away with midday. So, you know, meaning that your walleyes are tuned up, like they're gonna hit whatever's in sight. You could put a fork down there, a kitchen fork, and a walleye would probably hit it during those peak hours. But midday like this, you have to be more technical in your approach and kind of downsize. I drop my baits a little bit closer to bottom. You know, so we downsized with the shiner minnow. We took the sucker minnow off, put a shiner minnow on, put that shiner about 6 inches off of bottom, and that's a flag, midday flag out here on Mille Lacs. So I hope that's a sign of what's to come this evening. We don't know, but we could be in store for some good fishing here. It's not even 3 o'clock yet. We have another iFish Pro. Be there. Got him. Got him. This is crazy. Who would have ever thought in 12 feet of water, now it's bright sunny skies, on Mille Lacs Lake, we're catching walleyes. That's just, the more you fish, the more you learn that fish are so unpredictable, and if you're gonna get in trouble, it's because you're gonna go by habitual thoughts and actions. You just gotta expect the unexpected and be prepared for the unknown, because when you are, you get results like this. That's an iFish Pro. That's an iFish Pro. She's taking line. She's taking line. You can see that there's constant pressure on this deadeye rod. It's a carbon glass blend, which the glass just gives it that extreme flexibility in the tip, so you can just truly see everything that's happening. And I have confidence that fish doesn't feel much at all right now. So let's make sure our drag is set good, and it's not a huge rush. Like you don't have to get here and, you know, set the hook, and, you know, it's just kind of a more of a finesse. You just kind of be calm and patient with it. All right, let's go ahead and see what we can do. There it is. That's a walleye. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. It's just hard to get their head started sometimes. Luckily, we don't have too much ice, and I can poke her. There we go. Look at that tub. That there is a gorgeous Mille Lacs walleye. Isn't that fun? So midday, just expect the unexpected. You know, a lot of people try to move out deeper, and sure, you know, you just automatically kind of think to yourself that, you know, midday you got to go as deep as you can. But hey, right now we're limited by our ability to move in regards to how the ice conditions are. We're sticking it out shallow and we're catching fish. So, you know, we're not stressing trying to find 22, 23, 24 feet of water, which we could walk to, you know, 1,000 yards out there. But there's no need when you can catch walleyes like that right here. You just never know what to expect out here in Mille Lacs. That's fun.
All right, we got the iFish Pro. Flag just was up. I let a bunch of line out here. See if we feel them on the end of the line here. There, that tip's loading up. There we go, fish on. Nice. This fish was just peeling line too. It's awesome right now. I mean, we're just touching prime time and we're getting these little bonus fish right now before we hope we get a good nighttime bite, but this feels like a pretty good one here. Ooh, look at that walleye. It's only now 3 o'clock. Can't wait to see what this evening is gonna bring. Get that beautiful walleye back. Boom.
Here we go, iFish Pro. iFish Pro, we are wrapping up an incredible day here on Mille Lacs Lake. Early ice. Watch this rod tip load up, this walleye's running. We got him. It has been insane. Tons and tons of fish all day long. Shallow water has been producing 12, 13, 14 feet, even midday. I mean, these walleyes are shallow and they are hungry. Look at this one. This is a nice fish. This is a nice fish. We are sticking close to shorelines. There's a lot of sketchy ice out in the main lake. Flying our drone earlier today, we could see out past us here, not even 1,000 yards, there's pockets of open water. So we are sticking near shore, keeping safety first and foremost. And we are putting walleyes on the ice. This time of year, you don't need to go to the middle of the lake. There's plenty of good shoreline structure to get out here and chase after these walleyes. It's a nice fish. Let me tell you, it's early season and these walleyes are fired up here in the shallows on Mille Lacs Lake. What a fish, what a day.